In the land of Uz, there lived a man named Job. He was blameless, upright, and feared God. Job was the richest man in the East, blessed with 7 sons, 3 daughters, thousands of animals, and many servants. His life overflowed with joy, peace, and prosperity. Job's sons always held feasts in their houses, each on its appointed day, and would send and invite their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. When the days of feasting has run their course, Job will send and sanctify his children. He will rise early in the morning and offer burnt offerings according to the number of his children. Job said, "It may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts." Thus, Job offered the burnt offering regularly. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before Lord, and Satan also came among them. The Lord said to Satan, "Where do you come from?" Satan answered, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil?" Satan answered, "Does Job fear God for nothing? Have you not made a hedge around him, around his household, around all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But now, stretch out your hand and touch all that he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." The Lord said to Satan, "Behold, all that he has is in your power. Only do not lay a hand on him." Satan went out from the Lord's presence. One day, when Job's sons and daughter were eating and drinking wine in Job's oldest son's house, a messenger came to Job and said, "The oxen were plowing and the donkeys were feeding beside them. Sabeans raided them and took them away. They killed the servants with the edge of the sword. I alone have escaped to tell you." While the servants were still speaking to Job, another servant also came and said, "The fire of God fell from heaven and burnt up the sheep and the servants, consumed them, and I alone have escaped to tell you." While the servants were still speaking, another servant also came and said, "The Chaldeans formed 3 bands, raided the camels, and took them away. They also killed the servants with the edge of the sword. I alone have escaped to tell you." While the servant was still speaking, another servant also came and said, "Your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their oldest brother's house, and suddenly a great wind came from across the wilderness. It struck the 4 corners of the house, and it fell on them, and they are dead. I alone have escaped to tell you." Then Job arose, tore his robe, shaved his head, fell to the ground and worshipped. He said, Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this, Job did not sin, nor charge God with wrongdoing. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. Satan also came among them to present himself before the Lord. The Lord said to Satan, "Where do you come from?" Satan answered, "From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it." The Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on the earth, a blameless and upright man, one who fears God and shuns evil, and still he holds fast to his integrity, although you incited me against him to destroy him without cause." Satan answered, "Skin for skin. All that a man has, he will give for his life. Stretch out your hands now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will surely curse you to your face." The Lord said to Satan, "Behold, he is in your hand, but spare his life." Satan went out from the Lord's presence and struck Job with a painful boils from the sole of his foot to the crown of his head. Job took a potsherd to scrape himself while he sat in the ashes. Job's wife said to him, "Do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse God and die." But Job said to her, "You speak as one of the foolish women speaks. Shall we indeed accept good from God, and shall we not accept adversity?" In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. Job's three friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, heard of all the adversity that has come upon Job, and they came together to mourn with Job and to comfort him. When they saw Job from afar, they did not recognize him. They lifted their voices and wept, and each one tore his robe and sprinkled dust on his head towards heaven. They sat down with Job on the ground for 7 days and 7 nights, and no one spoke a word to him, for they saw that Job's grief was very great. After this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day of his birth. He cried out to God in anguish, "Why was I ever born? Why is life given to those in misery?" Yet, in his pain, Job did not curse God. Also, Job's three friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, told him that he had lived a bad life and now punished by God. They told Job to repent, but Job remained faithful to God. After Job and his three friends debated for days, God answered Job out of whirlwind. God turned around the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. God restored Job's fortunes, giving him twice as much as before. Job's animals were doubled. He also had 7 sons and 3 beautiful daughters. In all the land, no women were found so fair as the daughters of Job. Job lived 140 years before he died. The story of Job reminds us that faith is not built on blessings alone, but on trust in God through trials. No matter the storm, God's wisdom and purpose remain perfect.